Have you ever had a moment when a gut feeling saved you from making a terrible decision? Or maybe you felt a sudden chill, as if you were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and later discovered why? If you have, you're not alone. But here's the question that's haunted people for centuries. Is there such a thing as psychic ability? Can people actually predict the future? History is filled with stories of people who claim to see what's coming. Take Nostradamus, a name that sparks fascination and controversy even today. In the 1500s, he wrote cryptic verses that some say predicted major events, the rise of Napoleon, Hitler, even the tragic attacks of September 11th. Skeptics argue these predictions are too vague, twisted to fit historical events. But consider this. What if, buried in those words, was a glimpse of truth? Even if just one prediction holds, what does that mean for the rest of us? But let's get closer to home. Have you ever heard of Project Stargate? In the midst of the Cold War, when tension between the US and the Soviet Union was at its peak, something extraordinary happened. Both superpowers secretly funded programs to investigate psychic abilities. Yes, the US government hired people to see things that couldn't be seen, using only their minds. This wasn't just a few crackpots in a lab, they poured millions into it. And in one case, a man named Joseph McMonigle described a hidden Soviet base with eerie detail. Skeptics scoffed. But the military kept paying attention. Why? What did they see that the rest of us are missing? Psychic phenomena touch a nerve for most of us. In 2018, the Pew Research Center revealed that over 40% of Americans believe in some form of psychic ability. That's nearly half of us willing to consider the possibility that the future isn't entirely unknown, that some can peek behind the curtain. But how can we tell what's real and what's not? Let's take a walk down a different road, one that involves you. Ever had a friend on your mind all day, only to get a text from them out of the blue? That's telepathy, the ability to share thoughts without words. It might sound impossible, but British biologist Rupert Sheldrake tested this idea in a simple way. He asked people to guess who was calling them before they picked up. The result? Far more correct guesses than you'd expect from random chance. Critics, of course, had their explanations. Lucky guesses, maybe. But deep down, don't you wonder? Could there be something connecting us all beneath what we can see and touch? Déjà vu. Have you felt it? That spine-tingling sensation that you've lived this moment before? Science often calls it a glitch, just our brains misfiring. But some believe it's evidence of something much bigger, a glimpse into parallel lives, timelines we almost walked. Harvard psychologist Dr. Alan Brown found that more than 2/3 of people experience déjà vu. So many people, so many questions. Could it be more than just a quirk of memory? Skepticism is important. It grounds us, keeps us from being fooled. The world has had its share of fake psychics, con artists, and frauds. One man, James Randi, made it his life's mission to debunk paranormal claims. He offered $1 million to anyone who could prove psychic abilities under strict conditions. Many tried, none succeeded. But here's the twist. Randi himself admitted there are mysteries even he couldn't fully explain. What kept him curious? What keeps us curious? It's the sense that there might be something just beyond the edge of what we know. Dreams are another mystery. Have you ever woken up feeling like your dream was more than just a dream? In 2015, a British woman reported a vivid dream of a plane breaking apart mid-flight. Days later, a plane did just that. Could she have known? Or was it pure coincidence? Studies show that 1 in 4 people have experienced a dream that later seemed to come true. Our brains are incredible at pattern recognition, yes. But is that the whole story? Here's where it gets even more fascinating. In the 1980s, a researcher named Dr. Daryl Bem conducted experiments at Cornell University, testing if people could feel future events. He showed participants random images, but sometimes their bodies reacted before the image appeared. His paper, Feeling the Future, was published in a respected journal. And suddenly the scientific world was split. Was it real? Or was it the result of flawed data? You see, the idea that our minds could reach into the future touches something primal in all of us. It makes us question everything we know. Cultures across the world have stories of visionaries and seers. In ancient Greece, the Oracle of Delphi was revered for her visions. Leaders sought her guidance before making life-altering decisions. Today, we might roll our eyes at such tales, dismissing them as myths. But every culture, from the indigenous shamans of the Americas to the mystics of the East, shares this thread. Why would so many people across time and geography believe in something with no substance? Or does that widespread belief point to a deeper truth? Psychologists say much of what we call psychic is actually intuition. Our brains processing information so quickly we don't even realize it. But intuition has saved lives. Soldiers on the battlefield have reported knowing exactly when to move moments before a bullet struck. Mothers have felt their children's distress from miles away. Is this heightened awareness, or is it something more? Neuroscientist Dr. Dean Radin has explored these questions for years. His experiments suggest that sometimes our bodies know what's coming before we do. It's controversial, sure, but if there's even a grain of truth, wouldn't that change everything? Of course, not everything holds up to scrutiny. Some psychic experiences can be explained by something called cold reading, a technique where psychics use clues like body language, clothing, or speech patterns to appear insightful. And yes, it works. But here's what's worth asking. Does that explain every case? What about the stories that defy explanation? Consider this. Every year, countless people claim to see visions, predict events, or communicate beyond the boundaries of normal perception. Are they deluded? Are they all making it up? Or is there something about human consciousness we simply don't understand? What if we're more connected than we think, with threads that stretch beyond space and time? Some physicists even entertain the possibility that consciousness itself might influence reality, like a pebble dropped into a pond, creating ripples. Imagine your mind as a radio. Most of us are tuned into just one station, our daily lives, the mundane. But what if some people can turn the dial, tuning into frequencies beyond what we usually hear? Could these psychics simply be tapping into a part of the mind we've forgotten? Neuroscientists are still exploring consciousness, and there are theories linking psychic phenomena with quantum entanglement and energy fields. It's speculative, yes, but fascinating, don't you think? Let's talk about predictive dreams again. Have you ever felt like your dreams were warning you? Studies show that 25% of people have experienced a dream that came true. Some researchers believe our brains process massive amounts of information while we sleep, helping us predict outcomes based on probabilities. But others think there's more to it, something mystical and unexplained. What do you believe? If you've ever been at a crossroads, desperately needing guidance, you know the power of belief. From psychics who claim to see our future to mothers who sense danger, stories of psychic phenomena are everywhere. They make us wonder about fate, destiny, and whether we can change what's meant to be. Are we all just passengers watching life unfold? Or do some have the power to glimpse ahead and steer the course? So, tell me, have you ever experienced something you couldn't explain? Share your story below. You're not alone in wondering. The mystery of psychic abilities isn't just about predicting the future. It's about human connection, belief, and the idea that maybe, just maybe, there's more to this world than meets the eye. If you love exploring the unknown and asking big questions, subscribe to Universal Insights. Join our journey into the mysteries of life and the universe. And if you know someone who's ever wondered about psychic abilities, share this video. Let's keep the conversation going.